11 years old to a Jewish school, and a year before I came, there was a Litvischer Rav that was there, and from Ner Yisrael, and he made like 40 kids from. Most of the kids were not from, and he made 40 kids from around 40 kids in a very short time. So they threw him out.
He's doing a vatsa.
Yeah. So when I came, he wasn't there. But one of the things that he instituted was a shir of Chumash before school and a shir of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch during lunchtime. So I started to join the shir. And the person giving the shir, one of the kids in school, he's the one that got me my first pair of tzitzis. And I became connected to Yiddishkeit. Later on, towards the end of that year, that was the year where the Rebbe sent the first shluchim bachrim to Sydney, Australia.
How old were you?
I was by that time 12.
Wow.
So, and then I went to camp. So I became connected to these to the bachrim. That's how I became connected to Lubavitch. That made me sensitive to the differences between Yiddishkeit, Hasidishkeit, and Chabad, because they are very distinct things. There's very distinct, specific differences between them, and that's what we're going to be looking in general tonight. And one of the best places to see these differences are in the Tanya itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually recognize certain words. And what do those words mean? And we're going to see a pattern of those repeating themselves and the implication of those words. And then we're going to organize that. We're going to organize that, and we're going to compile, put all the things that match into a certain pattern or a certain path together, and we'll see what we'll get. So in your document, in your PDF, the first one you'll notice is Amru Lelibai, speaking to the heart. And I was speaking to Rabbi Matisov, edits Svarim for Kahas, and he looked at it and he said, he agreed with me that there's a text over here, there's a script that the Alter Rebbe is giving you to say to your heart, and he agreed that it stops at the same place where the document stops. So we have Omer Libe, and you see it's a script. Eineni Reitze Lies Russia. I do not want to be a Russia. And at the end, in the last line of it, you'll see at the end again. Eineni Reitze Lies Sheita Kamehu Lichver Ha'emes. And that's the end of the script. So we see a motivational technique. It's not necessarily an intellectual technique like Chabad. It's a different type of technique that the Alter Rebbe is suggesting. It's the first technique that I understand that I see in Tanya. It's in the 14th chapter, Perek Yudalet. And let's see this again. We see this pattern again in Perek Lamed Aleph. And he has Loimer Lelibai, speak to your heart. And we see where the script finishes. And it's in the Tanya itself. The script finishes. What do you tell your heart? Continue on. And Rabbi Matisov, this wasn't in here in my document before Shabbos, because Rabbi Matisov said, 1 second, actually, there's another one that's actually not printed over here, and there's Leimer Loi. And over there. Oh, it is? No, oh, yes, it is. Yes, Leimer Loi. Yeah, Leimer Loi. And it doesn't say Leimer Loi. It doesn't say to say to your heart, because in this case, you're actually not speaking to your heart. You're speaking specifically to the Yetzer Hara. That's why it says Leimer Loi. Then there's another one, Perek Mem Daled, and he doesn't say Leimer Loi, he doesn't say Leimer Loi. He says Ragil al Lishona V'Kailoi. Your heart has your Nefesh Bahamis. It also has your Nefesh Lakis. Perhaps you could call your subconscious mind.
And your Loi
is the Yetzer Hara specifically. It says specifically to the Yetzer Hara.
It's not your loy. You're saying you're speaking to the Yitzhahara as a separate entity.
As a separate entity, you're speaking to the Yetzer Hara as somebody separate from you, even though it's part of you.
When he says Lalibo, he says in any right to Li is Rasha. He's trying to tell himself,
Don't
I
behave
don't
like
want to be a
yourself.
Rasha, I don't want to be
Yourself.
separate.
What's your mitzvah? What's yourself?
So that
Nefesh HaSeichel is your intellectual mind.
Okay, so now it's going back to it's not heart. It's going back to the.
Who's speaking?
So it's like it's all the one. It's not.
Yeah, but which part of you is speaking? It's your conscious mind. It's the Nefesh HaSeichel that's speaking. You're speaking to your heart, to Lulibay. In this case, it's your Nefesh HaSeichel speaking to the Yetzer Hara as a separate entity. I'm not the Rasha, you're the Rasha. And he has a few lines for him. Then you have on Perek Mandali, you have Ragila L'Shen V'Kailei. And we're going to have the script later on, and that is actually a Lashon he's speaking to Hashem. It's Lashon HaTfilah. And you'll see over there it's Lashon HaTfilah, and the end of it is Kibra de Ishtadel. If you look up the Zohar says that the Raya Mehemna, he's saying Yehei Rava, he's saying he's davening to Hashem, maybe your rotzen that I should be Kibra de Ishtadel. It's also Lashon HaTfilah. So it doesn't say, it's not Loim Liba, it's not Loim Eloi, it's more Lashon HaTfilah, you're speaking to Hashem. On that Perek Memdalet.
What is he trying to bring out of it?
Yeah, so there's a certain type of Avas Misuteres, which is specifically, he calls Nafshi Visicha. In Chinuch Katan, he calls Nafshi Visicha and Kihu Chayecha are all in one, the same thing. So it's Kihu Chayecha, and he's saying that the technique that he's suggesting to reveal Kihu Chayecha, Nafshi Visicha, is through Ragil Al-Shena V'Kailei. Either through his script, or your own words, like Rabbi Avraham Hayar used to say Chabem Lib, or maybe it's the Lashonis of the Siddur itself, to see it in the Siddur. But he definitely is giving some sort of script to say to Hashem in Perek Memdalet. We'll see later on. Now let's go to the second technique that he brings, and it's different. And he uses the Lashon Sheyasim Alibay, to place upon your heart. And I was speaking with Rabbi Matisov, and he said that the difference is, Loim Alibay is you're speaking to your heart. Yasim Alibay, he says, is much deeper. And there's actually a mime of the Frierdiker Rebbe. He says the main tzivui on his Beinanus is what you do afterwards, at the end of his Beinanus, to be Yasim Alibay. That's the main thing of his Beinanus, to place upon your heart. So we see it in Perek Chav Hey, Sheyasim Al Libay, and it ends by the dot. In Perek Mem Vav, Yasim Al Libay.
Is the Teichen different when it comes to Yasim Aliboy, or?
One he's giving a script, and the other one he's giving a mental motivational strategy. We'll look it on. We'll start organizing it. We'll start organizing it later on. Let's go through. First, we're recognizing patterns, and then we'll start organizing the patterns.